How to increase your profit by 33% without putting your prices up, without even attracting any new customers or clients. The way it works is we start with our sales figure here of 500,000 in this instance. We work out how much gross profit we make on every sale. That's our gross margin. So here it's 60%. This will vary for every business, obviously. We work out our overheads. We take those off. So they're things like rent, rates, wages, salaries, etc. And that will give us what we call our operating profit. Now, in this instance, with a 60% margin and 150,000 overheads, our operating profit would be 150,000. If we could increase our sales revenue by 10%, then the same figures apply. Now, the only thing now is your gross margin will be higher because you've got a higher average revenue coming in. So if we're increasing our average revenue by 10%, that increases our sales by 10%. It increases the margin by 10%. And if you work the numbers out, our profit goes from 150,000 to 200,000 because the overheads don't change. So then you're thinking, well, how do I increase my average revenue by 10% without putting my prices up? And that's quite simple then. So what we need to understand is the way prices are arrived at generally. Now, if you're in the same market as everybody else and you're charging the same as everyone else, then you'll be governed by what are called market forces, supply and demand. And the price will be set in the market. And if you want to compete with that price, have a higher price, if you like, then you need to be doing something different. So here we have this market price. What that ignores is the fact that there are people on what's called this demand curve here who would have bought at a higher price. The only thing is, if the price is higher, you get fewer people to buy. That's the problem. So that's why the price comes down to this market price here. And that basically squares up all the people who are willing to sell at that price with all the people who are able and willing to buy at that price. So if you know the people that you deal with, your customers and clients who would have paid more, what you can do is you can have different offerings for different customers and clients, such that the ones who want the sort of the bog standard, for want of a better term, market product get that price. But the ones who are prepared to pay more, and you'll be able to identify who they are, because you can demark your clients as A, B, C, D, or your customers as, you know, the excellent ones, the better ones, etc. Once you split them up, you can have different offerings for different people. So you can have what's known as a cross-sell, where you sell them additional products and services at the point of sale. You can have an upsell where you offer them the option to buy larger amounts. So, if it's a service, it could be a membership scheme, for example. So larger quantities, larger amounts, longer terms. You can have bundling, which means you bundle in extra value. So what you do is you add in something that would increase the price by, say, 20%, but only cost you 5% to add in. So classic would be a restaurant where instead of discounting your prices, you offer, say, a free dessert. And a free dessert might cost you, like, I don't know, £1, £2, $2, whatever, but you might be able to charge 5 or 10 for it. That's called bundling. And you can also have what's called differential pricing, which is where you have, the airlines do it, but it's where you have, if you want to sit by a window, you pay more, for example. But you could have gold, silver, bronze. You could have, you pay extra for this, that, and the other. And that's called differential pricing. And if you understand your customer and client bank properly, and you can work out who's willing to pay more and tailor your offerings to those categories of people, you can easily charge different prices to different groups of customers and clients, and you could easily get your revenue up. I've said 10% here. That's probably being conservative, to be fair, for most people, but you can increase your average revenue here, and you haven't even had to announce like a price increase, a headline price increase. You haven't had to put your prices up. You haven't even had to attract new customers. You've just got to understand better the ones you've got. And what you'll probably find by doing this as well, actually, is that because you're tailor making what you offer to the individual customers and clients, you're more likely to retain them, because these people up here who wanted more than the bog standard product or service, for want of a better term again, and who are willing to pay more, if you don't do this, then they'll go somewhere else where they can get this extra quality and they'll pay more for it because that's what they want. So this wins on all counts. It means you get higher average revenue, but it also means that your revenue will again be higher each year as we go on, because you're keeping more customers and clients, because you're giving them what they want. So that's how you can increase your profit by, in this instance, 33%, simply by increasing your average revenue and by tailoring your prices and your offerings to the needs of your customers and clients, so that you're more likely to keep them. And also by doing this, you'll probably get them buying more often as well, because not only are you keeping them, but because you're giving them what they want, they might buy from you more frequently. So again, all of this is a sort of virtuous circle. So that's how you do it. I hope you found that interesting. If you want any further information or discussion, etc., there's my website address, bernardkeevy.com, or feel free to comment. Thanks very much for watching.